Welcome into Trivia Night Live, a weekly trivia show where you, the viewer, get to play along for prizes, glory, and me saying your name loud many, many times during the show. I am your host, Joey Wright. I am the community ambassador over at Football Guys, and we're here playing trivia with you every week. This week, it's NFL Draft Week. We all know what's going on this week, and I know every week we're out here talking about movies or pro wrestling. This week, we're getting into the game, NFL Draft. And I needed to go out and find two NFL draft experts. So that's exactly what I did. Our first guest is no stranger to fantasycares audience out there. You see him on Tuesday nights for the Dynasty Dummies Rookie Hootenanny. Congratulations, Joey, on saying that successfully. Zach Reed. Zach, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I am fantastic, Joey. This is it's great to be here. I'm often in the audience, often playing along, so it'll be nice to make a fool of myself in person for once.
That's great. So I have a question for you, and I did not prep you or Jeff for this, so Jeff's gonna have a little bit of time to prep. I want you to give me one player where you're fascinated to see where they're gonna go, not where you think they're gonna go. I want to know, like, the player you just don't really have a feel of where they're gonna go and who you just want to see, who you're fascinated with.
Man, I really want to see where Quinshon Judkins goes.
Okay.
And I know there's been some, will he be a first rounder? Will he be a second rounder? Will things fall where he ends up in the third? But to me, he and his landing spot are going to be really fun to see what shakes out, because I really like a lot of what he did.
And we're going to move that off there real quick. Oh yeah, I had the board up there. We'll get the code on the bottom for you. Yeah, I love that, Judkins. Our next guest, he's the Dynasty lead over at Football Guys. But most importantly, he is my co-host on Football Guys, Sunday morning live during the football season. Everybody, it's Jeff Bell. Jeff, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, Joey. Thank you so much for having me in. I'm definitely with you in spirit every week, but usually 9 o'clock on Monday nights, I'm recording the Dynasty show with Dave, our good friend Dave Kluge. So I have not been able to join the show yet. So I'm thrilled to be here. Special draft week, and definitely very excited for that.
I'm excited. And I in the intro, I had a funny joke where I was going to say you're a Ferris wheel enthusiast, but I skipped over it. Jeff and I, we rode a Ferris wheel in Canton together, and we realized we were both scared as we were riding it. It was quite fun. Jeff, same question to you, though. Give me a player you're fascinated to see where they land.
Can I give you two players?
Yes, give me two.
I have two major draft crushes, and neither of them are offensive players, oddly enough. Jahad Campbell from Alabama, the linebacker, I just absolutely love him. I think that you look at his range, his ability to cover the deep middle of the field, but also be a pass rusher. And then Jahdae Barron, cornerback from Texas. He's a physical corner that he tested well in the 40. There's some questions about if he can play outside, but I love these nickelback guys. They usually end up falling in the draft. Thinking about like Brian Branch, those type of players that they fall in the draft, but then they're every down players and they make significant impacts. And I think Barron is going to be that type of player as well.
Jeff, I'm going to be very, very selfish here. Give me a percentage chance that Jahad Campbell goes to the Bucs.
I've mocked him there a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's going to be off the board before they come in is where I think it's really going to land. My latest mock that I released today has him going to Arizona at 16. I think Cincinnati at 17 is going to be in play. So you're looking at that range. I think he'd be a slam dunk pick if you're able to get him.
I keep seeing the name. I'm glad the Bucs got away from in a lot of mocks taking wide receivers in the first round, because I was like, we don't really need that. Like, let's get that defense.
I mean, once you locked up Chris Godwin, kind of closed that door.
Guys, we're not alone tonight. I said that I went and got two guests, but we always have the chat with us. So let's start saying hey to the chat. Steve's in here. Steve's one of our most faithful viewers. Steve, how you doing tonight, buddy? All right. Baseball briefcase. Jeff Bell's a Detroit Tigers fan.
That's right. Go Tigers. You can see right behind me.
Jamie's in here. Hey, Jamie. That's a scary looking dog there. Look at that. Or is that a bear? I don't know. I don't know animals. Oh, Tootsie Pop. Rachel's in here. Jeff Bell is my favorite. Well, I don't take that personally at all. Bob Harris, former guest on this show for Music Week. Bob's here with us. He said, what's going on this week, Bob? We're talking about the NFL draft. So hopefully you know something about that. Dame's in here. How's it going, Dame? Frank in the chat. Oh, my God. Look at all the people. And Zach in here. I'll be seeing Zach at Scott Fishbowl Live, Orlando. I won't be drafting in it, but I'll be making an appearance.
You're going too?
Yeah. Oh, you gonna be there?
Yeah. I got my tickets booked. We're there.
Yeah, I am drafting in Las Vegas this year.
Nice.
Jeff, are you doing a live draft this year?
I hope to. The Cincinnati Live is what I did last year, and it's actually on my wife's birthday. So I'm trying to figure out if that's gonna fly.
I'm a fan of saving marriages over saving drafts, and I think that Scott, knowing the family man that he is, he would agree with us on that.
Well, and then the next Cleveland is like the 29th, and that's our anniversary. So it's like,
well,
Ooh.
I mean, she's got to give somewhere, Jeff. Like, I was nice the first time around, but second time, like, no, I don't know. No, if Mrs. Jeff Bell's watching this, I'm so sorry. Did not mean a word of what I said. Mr. Scampers is in here, everyone's favorite chat cat. Just saying hi. Oh my goodness, look at all the people in here tonight. Alan's in here. Tim's in here saying hi to us. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, I want you to, during the show, throw in some of the players that you're excited to see where they go. If you're, let's say you're a Patriots fan, let us know who you want to see come to the Patriots. Abdul Carter, maybe, if he's there. Yeah, I think a lot of Patriots fans would like that. All right. Well, let's put this draft board up there and let the people start getting into it. I'm going to take care of a little housekeeping here real quick, go through the rules and whatnot. If you're watching us here on the Fantasy Cares YouTube, go ahead and make sure to like and subscribe. Same with the Football Guys Live YouTube channel. If you're watching us there, like and subscribe. If you're watching us on Scott's Twitter, get off of Scott's Twitter and get over to YouTube and like and subscribe on those channels. Also, consider making a donation to Fantasy Cares. They do a lot of great stuff. We got Scott Fishbowl season coming around. There's tons of campaigns. There was a WrestleMania contest. I think they raised, what was like $1,500, Zach? Did they raise for that?
Yeah, that was awesome. It was
unbelievable.
Fantastic.
And the Masters contest, they've got all kinds of fun campaigns going on right now to raise money for Toys for Tots and other great organizations. So definitely consider making a donation. All right, rules to play the game. Go ahead and scan the QR code. I'll make that a little bit bigger for you guys. Or go to Kahoot.it and enter in 585349. That's going to be your code tonight. From there, enter nickname. Any vulgar or hateful names will get you kicked, and you'll be ineligible for prizes. Although I will write that vulgar name down and possibly use it as a team fantasy team name. But you will get kicked off this show, but you will help me in the long run, so pick your poison there. Once a game begins, a question will come up on the screen here, as well as on your device. Answer by clicking or tapping on your choice from the device. Accuracy and speed will both factor into your score. So the quicker you know the answer, go ahead and answer because you'll get the most points. And you'll have 45 seconds to answer all of these questions per question, not total. That would be ridiculous. That would be like a lightning round. And we're not doing that tonight. Each game will consist of 12 questions, and we will have 2 games tonight as normal. And the prizes tonight, woo-wee, let's go. First game, we're going to be playing for Zach's Rook Report. One of us will make a donation. The first game will be me making a donation to Fantasy Cares, so that you get a full copy of the Rook Report, and we'll make that donation in your name. So it won't say Joey, it'll say your name. And then in game 2, we will be giving away a Football Guys Elite subscription, so you can go ahead and download our rookie guide and get full access to that. We'll have version 3 coming out. Jeff, is that correct? After the draft?
Yes, definitely. We're going to wait till after the draft before we
Perfect.
release version 3, but we'll know where the players are going to play. So
perfect. And then in the second game tonight, we're also going to have a second prize. We're going to give another copy of Zach's Rook Report away. So get excited, kids. All right. As people keep filtering in here, see some more people joining us. People were saying hi to Bob. Oh, somebody saying Packers went Kenneth Grant. Right. Bob Gilchrist saying, my wife would prefer I go draft. Well, that's
good because he's going to at least 3 or 4 of them that I know of. So probably more than that.
I think Bob will be with me in Vegas. I'm not sure on that actually.
Yeah, wow. So I think Bob will be there. He'll be in Orlando. Wait, he's all over the place. Bob is ubiquitous.
Sally's in here. I met Sally at the Fantasy Ball Expo. Sally's a sweetheart. All right, Bob's in here.
My daughter some books. Sally's great.
Oh, she gave your daughter some books?
Yeah, she writes a book about. I think it's Bernie, the one-eyed dog.
What? I didn't know about this. Sally, we're going to give away one of your books one week. Get in contact with me. I want to give one of your books away. Jeff. Don't say anything bad.
Never
Boss
would.
is here. Hey, Joe. So very special guest tonight. My aunt, was it G-Cat, is in the house tonight. And Aunt G-Cat made Joe stay an extra day. I forget where Joe is staying, but she made him stay an extra day so she could watch Trivia Night Live tonight. So that is the type of viewership we're looking for. Extend your vacations so that you can stay and watch me say stupid things about trivia. I think that's just the goal of everything at this point. Fantasy Care saying hi, Zach and Jeff and all the great people in the chat, but no hi to Joey. That's fine. We don't take that personally. And Sally's saying, yes, we can give that. You know what? We have a Disney week coming up, Sally. I think that'll be a perfect week to give away your book. Because I'm assuming if it's about One-Eyed Dog, it's for kids. Is it a kid's book?
Yes, it's a kid's book.
Awesome.
Series.
Yeah. Oh, there's more. Oh,
Yeah.
man. I'm excited. I'm going to have to read these. I've got 2 girls. I'm going to have to get them a copy for myself. Oh, Wilson saying Fantasy Cares is booming. All right, guys. We're going to get into this first game. All right, let's hop over here. We got 28 people in here. That's pretty good. All right, everybody ready? Kahoot at work. I got the volume turned off. First question. Which college has produced the most number 1 overall picks in NFL draft history? Is it Alabama, USC, Penn State, or Michigan?
Do we say the answer or do we just pick our answers?
Wait till the you just pick your answer and then wait till the clock expires or everyone answers. And then we can discuss it. All right, so 14 people saying Alabama. The correct answer is USC. Yeah, USC has had the most number 1 overall picks in NFL draft history. Jeff, I see you smiling. Did you get that one right?
I did.
All those quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, guys. Jeff, you're aware of, we have JB's grandmama on Football Guys Sunday Morning Live. We have favorite chat guest. My favorite chat guest, I'm sorry to everyone, but the Bourbon Cowboy has arrived. And he wants Hunter to fall to the Pats, or if they move up. I think Travis Hunter going to the Patriots would be an incredible fit. Zach, what would you think of that?
That would be amazing. The longer we get in this draft process, the less likely that feels like it will happen. But that was initially my hope. I mean, I'm up here in Maine, Pats fan by default because it's the nearest team. So that's been my hope. I am less hopeful now, but that would be kind of ideal. It'll probably be an offensive lineman. That's probably at 4. It'll probably be an offensive lineman. But
Bob saying we need to get Joe on the show. Maybe for my birthday, Joe will come on and do Muppets trivia. Because that's what I'm pigeonholing into this show for my birthday. Get some Muppets trivia. All right, guys. Let's take a look at the podium, see how we're looking here. Steve F., no surprise there, in first place. But Jeff, just a little bit behind. Steve was just a little quicker on the trigger there. Dame Overboard on the board. And first round Reddit. Let's go. Tootsie Pop saying hey to Sally. The chat loves each other. Isn't that sweet? All right, next question. Who was the first overall pick in the inaugural NFL draft in 1936? Was it Jay Bernwanger, Johnny Unitas, Jim Thorpe, or Joe Namath? The first overall pick. And Scott's saying Joe can take my spot on Muppets Trivia. Yeah, it was Jay Bernwanger. I've never heard of Jay Bernwanger.
He was the first pick in 1936. Joey.
Thank you, Jeff.
I've heard that.
Any guys have any scouting information on Jay Bernwanger for me? No?
Got nothing.
I've heard the name before, but
is he in the Hall of Fame? Feels like he should be. I know Jim Thorpe is.
Jim Thorpe is in several Halls of Fame.
Yes. One of my favorite things about the NFL Hall of Fame is if you start where the first busts are, the sculpting improves dramatically as you go around the room.
Until you get to Peyton Manning.
Do you guys have both been there? Do you have a favorite bust in the Hall of Fame?
Boy, Joey, we're going some places now. No, no, I don't think I do.
You know, Kevin Green's mine. It looks like Mufasa from The Lion King. It's got a big mane. It's great. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at the podium. All right, Steve F. hanging tough in there.
F.
Oh, Nipsey's here. Hey, Nipsey, how you doing? Thanks for being here again with us this week. Dog's here.
Do I get half of Steve's points because he was my tag team partner in the wrestling, the Fantasy Cares wrestling?
No.
Okay,
it doesn't work that way. Oh, and just for the chat, no spoilers for Raw tonight. I'm here working. Please don't spoil it because I'm going to watch it after the show's over, and I want to enjoy it. All right, let's take a look at the next question. Question number 3 in this back. Which team selected Eli Manning first overall in 2004 before trading him? Was it the New Orleans Saints, the Houston Oilers, the San Francisco 49ers, or the San Diego Chargers?
That was a very confident mash over there. I like. Did you see Russ in the chat said the leg molds at the at the hall? Very humbling.
Yeah. Oh, the chat on fire with that one. 30. That one person. We'll just think you fat thumbed it.
Scott said that Raw is really good tonight, Joey.
Great. I will address this. Did I hate Cena and Cody as much as the rest of us? No, I did not. And I'll tell you why, because I don't think the whole story needed to be told last night. I think that chapter was closed and they'll open the next chapter tonight. So I don't think they need to give you everything all at once, especially after the night 1 main event with Seth, Cody, and Roman. That was incredible. So I was completely fine with the way the Cena Cody ended. All right. Let's take a look at the podium. Dog moving up into first place, passing Steve F. Nipsey's on fire. And first round Reddit's hanging in there too. All right. Let's take a look at the next question, guys. Question number 4. Who was the last running back selected number 1 overall in the NFL draft? Was it Saquon Barkley, Kajana Carter, Barry Sanders, or Walter Payton? I remember there for a while, people were saying running backs shouldn't be going in the first round at all. You guys think the ships have sailed and their running backs deserve to go in the first round?
I mean, good players should go in the first round of the draft. So
Yeah.
you got a good running back, you should go in the first round of the draft.
It's been really funny with the cycles though, where it's probably every 8 or 9 years where you see the resurgence of running backs, and then there's that decline where we start devaluing them, and then all of a sudden they come back in a big way, and we're almost to the point where they're coming back in a big way right now. We're right about that from 2017, 2018 to now. Makes me feel old, but it's about that cycle.
Well, it was really important that the Eagles won the Super Bowl, because had the Chiefs won, then running backs wouldn't have mattered at all. But because the Eagles won, then running backs are extremely important now in football. So,
yeah.
We mentioned you speak of the devil, he shall appear. 6 years of contract control makes a good running back worth a first rounder. Thank you, Davik. I appreciate that. And he says hi.
But don't take Sony Michel though.
You get 6 years of Sony Michel control though too.
Yeah. So. Worth every penny. Definitely not sour that they didn't take Lamar Jackson there. Not sour at all.
All right. Answer that question was Kajana Carter. He was the last running back taken number 1 overall in the draft. 13 of you were good scholars there. Knew that one. Oh, Nipsey moving up into first place. Wasn't that exciting? Jeff getting back up on the board. Dog moves down to 4th place. First on Reddit.
Your question got me.
You'll never forget that name now. Oh gosh, Fantasy Football Briefcase is in there, and then 6 participants just hit an answer streak of 3. Congratulations, Joe. We're gonna need to know how your aunt's doing throughout the game. Please give us updates because we're all rooting for her. Scott, letting us know. I have now booked Joe and a puppeteer with a Muppet puppet for Joey's birthday show. is something I am making up. Yeah. There have been shows in the past where I've done Muppet impressions. I'm not saying I'm going to do that on my birthday, but it is my birthday, so I might just do that. Oh, I missed the podium. Next question. What NFL franchise has had the most number of what NFL franchise has had the most number one overall picks in league history?
There's
NFL franchises. Would you say?
There's 2 that are tied. 2 franchises are tied for the most.
Okay.
Only one's on this list.
Perfect.
You should pick that one.
Yeah, pick that one. I'm wondering, we'll talk about it when it's over because there's a kind of a caveat to it. The Bourbon Cowboy, only 2,000 points down.
It's still a chance.
Legos for grandmas. All right. And then Joe's let us know she's doing great. So it is the Colts because the Baltimore Colts and Indianapolis Colts combined, right, Jeff?
Yes.
Who's the other team?
The Rams have also had I think it's 7 that they both had.
The Rams was not in my my research, but the Rams wasn't on this list. So you know what? If you didn't say Colts, you're wrong. All right. 8 people had that. You would think the Browns, but nope. All right. Let's take a look at the podium. Not much shaking up going on there. Jeff's hanging in there. Tim, I'm just gonna guess Tim. Kretz Tim. Scobes is up on here. Oh, look at that. Everyone's having a good time. All right, moving on to the next question. We're halfway through the pack. Who is the first non-quarterback taken in the 2024 NFL draft? So last year's draft, was it Marvin Harrison Jr., Joe Alt, JT Latham, or Brock Bowers? The first non-quarterback. That is Caleb Williams saying it's good. Do you guys know this one?
Yes.
Good. I'm hoping you guys do.
I do remember the 2024 NFL draft vaguely.
Do you know why the 2024 NFL draft will not be as good as the 2025 NFL draft?
Why?
Why is that?
Because last year I was with Jeff, and this year I will not be with Jeff. So no way will it be as good.
It's true. We together in person. We all got COVID.
I didn't. Maybe I did. I don't know. But no, we had fun. That was my favorite
barbecue. We got COVID. It was a good time.
Yeah, my favorite part of the weekend is I had to go under a desk to fix some wires. And there's a picture, and I'll put it up on Twitter later, of me laying on my stomach so I'm not in the shot of all the guys recording. It's very funny.
You remember that.
The unsung hero.
Jeff, are you going to Canton?
I will make an appearance at some point in Canton. So that's what I can say.
He's popping out a birthday cake just for me.
It's 2 hours away, so I will be there at one point or another.
All right. Marvin Harrison Jr., yes, was the first non-quarterback taken last year in the draft. Let's take a look at the podium. Nipsey hanging up top there. I think Nipsey is out of jail now as well. So, Nipsey, you can win one of these prizes tonight because it's been a month since you won. So, Jeff, though, he's trying to win his own prize. Look at him go. All right. Let's go on to the next question. How many rounds are there in the current NFL draft format? 6, 7, 8, or 9? That's a beautiful little mosaic draft background there, isn't it? It's in the Detroit one, I think. It's beautiful. Retro Coach saying, any draft, not in Detroit, is a lesser draft. Yep. We're looking at 7 rounds now in the draft. 7 rounds. How many of Zach, do you watch all 7 rounds?
I usually, if I can.
Okay.
The day 3 is kind of a hit and miss as to whether or not I've got commitments, but the first 2 days definitely.
That sounded a little mysterious. You got commitments?
Yeah, Joey, I get the kids. Could be a D&D campaign. I'm not going to worry about fifth round picks. If I've got some D&D to play. So
okay, all right. I was at Target this evening with my daughter, and I saw a D&D kit, and I've never played D&D, and I thought about buying it, but I have a good friend Simon. He has told me if I play D&D for the first time without him, he will be very mad at me.
So
got a question for both of you guys though. You're watching the NFL draft, and you can have any food, and this is for the chat too. Throw it in the chat for us. You guys answer as well. What food would you want to have while watching the NFL draft? Any food you can have.
I want a pizza.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Pizza and wings.
Wings, yeah.
I think that's.
I ate a whole pizza last night watching WrestleMania, so I think I'd be a pizza guy too. All right, yeah. 25 people knew it was round 7 there. Let's take a look at the podium. Sorry. Mr. Scampers, the taquitos. Yeah. And Jessica Bryant. Hey, Jess.
Pretzel bites.
Pretzel bites.
That's what my oldest would say. He's a pretzel bite kid.
And then Frank in the chat wants wings. Bourbon Cowboy pizza with some bourbon. Okay. This was probably my favorite answer to the Jeremy. Just saying beer. Just give me some beer. Lots of pizza, lots of wings. And then Dame just wants cheese.
Just cheese.
Cheese.
Non-specific cheese, just whatever.
Oh, Bob, iced coffee. Okay.
But that's not up. That's not like specific to the draft, though. Bob is like a gallon of iced coffee a day.
This is true. This is
like
true.
at night.
I
can't do that anymore.
All the time. If you see Bob without the iced coffee, like the big Starbucks iced coffee in his hand, like something's wrong.
I like the veg tray call out. I'm big on the balanced. I think it's like the balanced bites is what they're called now. But like the fruit and nut and cheese things, I like those quite a bit. So if open for a sponsorship, I think it's Sargento. If you want to do a sponsorship, we can do the Dynasty show, and you can give me just a crate of the balanced bites. That'd be great.
I love it. I'm all for us getting sponsorships.
I assume Sargento's watching this, so
usually they are. Maybe not this week. Steve, with the pulled pork nachos, that's a good pull there. Mm-hmm.
Pro move.
All right, guys, let's get to the next question. The board looks good. Nipsey's at top. All right. Question number 8. In draft day, which player name does Sonny Weaver Jr. write on a Post-it to draft no matter what? Is it Vontae Mack, Ray Jennings, Bo Callahan, or Earl Jennings?
I always want to write the sequel. I think maybe one of these years I'm just going to write the sequel to draft day, and it will be like 4 years down the road. And Sonny Callahan is a disgraced former general manager for the Browns because he used the number 1 pick on an off-ball linebacker and a running back in the top 6. Meanwhile, Bo Callahan is a 2-time NFL MVP coming off a Super Bowl win, and Sonny's desperately trying to work his way up, coaching his son's Pee Wee team, and a fate of luck happens to allow Sonny to step back into the role of we can pick maybe I don't even know, the Broncos or somewhere like that, and he gets a second chance and he redeems himself, and he does not draft an off-ball linebacker with the number 1 pick in the NFL draft.
Jeff, you said you want to one day write it. I feel like you already did write it, and you were just making the pitch for someone to put it into production. And I support that, Jeff. I will give you your first $1 to making it happen. So tonight is draft trivia, so I put a draft day question in there. Do you guys watch draft day every year? Is it part of the?
I do. I've already watched it this year. So
have you?
Yeah, they put it on.
I got angry again that he took an off-ball linebacker with the number 1 pick in the draft.
They put it on early this year. It was nice.
Nice. I got to see draft day about 4 months before it came out in theaters. They did like a test screening, and it was when I was doing film journalism. And they changed a lot of it. And I wish I could tell you what they changed, but the movie that I saw then at the test screening and the movie that exists now were completely different. And Scott Fish has confirmed in my mind that my mom's not playing tricks on me because he saw it too.
It was supposed to be the Bills. So it was supposed to be about the Bills. And then the city of Cleveland gave like an insane tax break to like make it about the Browns.
I do remember it was when I saw the test screen, it was the Browns. It might have been like you mean like the preliminary talks?
I think in the preliminary talks, it was going to be about
Okay.
the Bills, and then like Cleveland went because Cleveland. I don't know if they're still doing it, but there was a big push for a while to have a lot of. I know Avengers was filmed in Cleveland. There was a lot of movies being filmed in Cleveland.
In your draft day 2, Electric Boogaloo, Jeff, will you be bringing Costner back, or will you be recasting the role?
Oh, he's certainly coming back. I mean,
Okay.
he's disgraced. He's got to
Right.
work his way back up from this. I mean, that's just really something that sticks with you. So you can't just replace him. So he's going to be back.
Okay. I'll prove it. I'll give $2 now. Yeah, we're glad Jess is here tonight. It's good to see Jess in here. Yeah, Sally's saying, time to watch that movie again. Yeah, and that movie is on the shelves back here. All right, let's see. 17 people got that one right. Let's look at the podium. No movement at all. People were pretty steadfast on that one. They knew what was going on. 3 Retro Coach is back in the game, guys. All right. I don't know why he left, but he's back, according to my board. All right, next question, guys. 4 left in this pack. Which quarterback was picked latest in the infamous 1983 NFL Draft? Was it John Elway, Jim Kelly, Ken O'Brien, or Dan Marino? Which one of those quarterbacks was picked latest?
I got it wrong.
I'll answer this for Retro Coach.
The
Draft day question. Go ahead, Jeff, real quick.
I was gonna say that in that draft, the Bills ended up having 2 picks like really close to each other, and they took a random tight end like didn't matter at all over Jim Kelly.
Retro Coach, draft day question. Did we need Jennifer Garner's character in the movie? No. And that's of any Jennifer Garner role ever in a movie. We didn't need her there. That's terrible. I shouldn't say that. That was not nice. Nah, Jennifer Garner's wonderful. But no, in that movie, like it was just kind of like what? An accountant? I guess just need a love interest. It makes some sense.
There was nothing that made sense about that movie. Except for Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace.
He gave the ball to his sister. Like, you know, I don't know. He saw heart in him. Oh, yeah, Dan Marino was taken latest in that draft.
I knew that.
There was, I believe it was 6 quarterbacks taken before Dan Marino. 2 of them made a lot of sense. Like, I can see, okay, yeah, Jim Kelly, John Elway. That makes sense. But there's one other one that was actually good, too. I forget
isn't the 30th for 30 named like the Marino 6 or something like that?
Yeah. Could have had a contender. All right. 10 people got that right.
I did not get it right.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
I'm gonna fall.
Ooh, only moved down a spot. Though,
and it was
Jeff.
Nipsey missed it. That was my chance. That was my chance.
You know, these questions are worth about 1,000 each. So
yeah, handle it. You're gonna let it
come
slip.
back. Oh, First Round Reddit is making a comeback with 3 in a row, and they're in second place. 100 points, less than 100 points, dividing those people. All right, what's going on in the chat? I see them just hammering away. We'll be filming the draft day sequel in Canton. Okay. And then Scott Fish letting us know he watches draft day all year long.
I love the game, Scott. So
Aunt G-Cat is ahead of Joe and Barbie now. Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at the next question, guys. We've got 3 questions left in this pack. Which team has 2014's 5th overall pick Khalil Mack never played for? The Buffalo Bulls, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Las Vegas Raiders, or the Chicago Bears? Which team has he never played for?
Oh, what a trick question, Joey.
Yeah,
man,
I'm a jerk.
Good job.
Thank
Good job
you.
on you.
This is my favorite question I wrote.
Wait a minute. I'm very confused now.
He played for the Oakland Raiders, but he never played for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And he was a Buffalo Bull in college.
Yeah.
Very sneaky.
See, anyone that watches the show, thank you. anyone that watches the show knows that I don't spell things right every time. So I thought Buffalo Bulls, people will think, oh, Buffalo Bills, Joey misspelled something again. Joey's a dummy. No. Joey's smart.
That was a great call out.
Thank you. Yeah. And it looks like I did trick the chat. So one person, if you were the one person that got Las Vegas Raiders, pat yourself on the back. Lots of cursing at me in the chat. Oh boy. Can't put those up on the camera. All right, let's see. Draft board didn't move at all because nobody except for one person got it right. So, all right, that was fun. Oh, Jeremy saying it was me. Good job, Jeremy. Joey wrong. I never heard that one. Every year of elementary school. All right, we've got a couple questions left. All right, 2 questions left, guys. What team did the Carolina Panthers trade with to get the number 1 overall pick in 2023? Was it the Chicago Bears, the Cleveland Browns, the Cincinnati Bengals, or the Tennessee Titans? I could put the Bourbon Cowboys cursing up here because it's in code. Thank you, Bob. All right. All right. Who'd they make that trade with, guys? Let us know. Scamper saying, I feel attacked. Yeah, everybody got that one. It was Chicago Bears they made that trade with. Did that trade work out for the Bears and the Panthers equally? Do you guys think? Think they both got their guys?
I think the Bears did pretty okay on that trade. I mean, if Bryce Young's good, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you not in on Bryce Young, Jeff?
I'm more in than I was, and I was more in than most last year. So I guess I am. But
I still wish that they would shore up their interior offensive line for him. He is very bad being rushed up the middle and pretty good at accounting for pressure from the outside.
All right, let's take a look at the podium. Ooh, Jeff. A little bit less
so
than
close.
300 away. You could still make a comeback. Retro Coach has moved up on the board. Your boy Allen has made it up there. Oh, Fantasy Ball Briefcase. Nipsey still at the top, though. And we're heading into our last question in this pack, guys. Your final question. Including 2025, how many NFL drafts have been held outside of New York City since the league ended its 39-year run there? So how many drafts since then? Is it 10, 11, 12, or 13?
I just guess.
Guess fast.
Yeah, it's one of those that I don't know the answers, so pick one up quick.
I'm trying to figure out where that is in New York.
It'd be downtown somewhere.
Yeah. Correct answer is 11. 7 of you guys got that right. Retro Coach is applauding me for challenging you at the end. I fell faster than Sanders draft stock. Hey-o! Jokes like that, you might get a spot on the show.
If it's from the Avengers movie, then it's in Cleveland. So maybe that's not even New York.
They have the same buildings in Cleveland?
Only in Avengers.
I'll tell you what. All right, guys. Let's take a look. See who won the game. In third place, your boy Allen. In second place, the Retro Coach. And in first place with 8,822 points, Jeff Bell. Jeff, way to go. Nipsey, I guess, missed that last one.
Good run,
awesome,
Nipsey. Thank you. Has somebody on here ever won?
Go ahead.
I said, has somebody on the show ever won?
I was just about to say, I think you are the first guest on the show to win. Technically, Scott Fish would have won but he missed the last question because I think he walked away from his computer, or he probably would have won that game.
I'm now a trivia question because I have been on this show when the guest won and it wasn't me. I also am the only person to lose to John Bosch on Fantasy Game Night or Dynasty Game Night. So
You lost to Bosch?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
And
I was
you
young.
as a guest? Oh, man.
No, I think Bob actually just threw me in. I don't think I was actually booked.
All right. Well, guys, I have to pull up the next draft board. And while I do that, I want to give you guys something to talk about. We pretty much know Cam Ward. It's most likely going to go first overall. And somebody talked about Shedeur Sanders a little bit ago. Do you guys think he's falling into round 2, or do you think a team might trade up into round 1 to get him? What are we thinking on Sanders?
I think his floor is the Steelers at 21. I don't see him going past 21. And I do think somebody's going to come up and get him. I think that the Browns are probably pretty enamored with the idea of Travis Hunter and then coming back and getting Shedeur Sanders to pair them together because they have some things going on there that wouldn't mind changing some narratives and creating some excitement. So that's kind of where I feel like I think the Giants, they're torn internally about doing it, but they won't do it at 3. So, I mean, today's mock that I put out, I had the 49ers coming up and then the Giants getting position and grab Sanders, but the 49ers kind of saying, we don't plan on being bad next year. Let's go get Abdul Carter right now. We'll give you our picks next year and we'll go get that done. But it does seem like the Giants are pretty married to Carter there. So I think the Steelers, again, the floor there, because I think if the Rodgers thing would have fallen in place, they might have been more willing to pass up on that. But I just don't see that happening.
You feeling the same way there, Zach?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that the NFL at this point lets quarterbacks that have potential fall out of the first round, whether or not we think they're first round picks. So it'll be interesting to see. But I'm with Jeff. I don't think Sanders falls out of the first.
All right. I got that QR code up there for everybody now. Or you can go to Kahoot.id and enter that 395-1983, 1 year after the year I was born. We'll see what's going on in the chat. Joe Bryant just applauding Jeff, just assuring that he made the right decision. Barbara is excited for Jeff. Yeah, I'm saying great game. Everybody's excited for Jeff. Yeah, this is something I've been seeing come up. I want to say in the last 48 hours, maybe. I was pretty plugged into wrestling this weekend, so it could have happened on Friday. But yeah, Genie to the Jags. Zach, like what's going on with that? Is there any truth to that?
Man, I have no idea. I have not followed, and I've learned my lesson because for years you follow kind of the hype that leads up to the draft and the mocks and the people who are plugged in, and then you get to the draft and invariably we're disappointed. So I am at the point now where I am just excited to see where Genty lands. And I'm like predicting where he's going to go is way out of my realm. I can tell you, I think he's very good. I think he's in that. He's not. So to me, he's not an elite running back, not a generational running back, but he's in that like tier down for me. Okay. He's an exceptional running back. I mean, he's in that like Bijan, Dalvin Cook range for me, and I'm really excited to see where he goes. Whether or not he jags, I don't know.
All right, let's say you're on the clock, Zach, and you have the choice, top 2 running backs in your queue, Jahmyr Gibbs and Genty. Where are you going?
I think I'm taking Gibbs because I already know what Gibbs is and kind of that situation, and to get a couple years of that, I'm gonna take him. But if you'd ask me that out of college, it's Genty.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, does that make sense before you have the knowledge that you have in the NFL?
Jeff, where's the line for you with Genty? With what other player?
In terms of comparison, like,
yeah, I'm just like, say you're on the clock. Like I said, what I use Gibbs as an example, but like, what player would you really need to be think about
in fantasy football or real football?
Fantasy football.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still probably. I think I would have him over Christian McCaffrey. Probably would be. I mean, you're still putting Saquon at number one. I think you have Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs above. I mean, then Genty next on that. I mean, who else are we talking about? I mean, Brees Hall is supposedly in a timeshare. Christian McCaffrey coming off the injury. I don't know, Bucky Irving. I don't know.
That's what home bias gets to me because I've got Bucky over Brees Hall at this point, but Brees Hall and Genty is kind of where I would.
Yeah,
that's right.
But I think in terms of the Jacksonville talk, James Gladstone is the new general manager there. Comes from the Rams. The Rams have. I'm obsessed with the Rams and their draft approach. They've completely done an overhaul on the way that they approach the draft. They don't bring anybody in for any visits because they don't want any sort of anything tainting their analysis at all. And the Rams have done an amazing job the last couple of years of really rebuilding their franchise, getting guys
100%.
like Puka Nacua. Obviously, we know Jared Verse last year, Rookie of the Year on the defensive side, getting Braden Fisk. All those guys rebuilding that offensive line, losing. I mean, you lose Cooper Kupp, you lose Aaron Donald, and they really don't lose anything off of those premium elite blue chip players that help deliver them the Super Bowl. But there's a lot of confidence in Jacksonville, and James Gladstone is going to try to swing to hit a home run. And as much as Mason Graham has been mocked to there, Mason Graham's not a home run pick. Ashton Genty is definitely a home run pick.
100%. All right, guys, I think we're about ready to get into this game. I'm going to close that QR code down. And all right, guys, let's hop into this one. Let's check in on the chat. We'll give people a couple more minutes to join if they want to. And then DraftKings has Genty as the betting favorite at number 4. Follow the money, I guess.
The Pats?
Yeah, and then I think Jeremy up here was saying, why has no one said it? I saw earlier today people were talking about would the Patriots make that move?
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I still think they need offensive line help, but I don't hate that.
Anyone think Ben Johnson learned to build in the trenches with Detroit and would pass on a TD or running back with the Bears? I've also seen the Bears are just salivating at the idea of Genty falling.
I definitely do not have Genty as I've got Will Campbell at minus 380 on the number 4 pick on DraftKings. I don't know if you meant the number 5 pick. He is the favorite out of the number 5 pick at Jacksonville at plus 135.
Yeah, Dame, we have our Bucky Irving meeting later tonight. So we'll talk about him then. But yeah, Bucky is just so much fun. But I'm a homer, so I can't. I mean, is he that great? I don't know. But is Jordan James actually a better running back than Bucky Irving? Some people say. I don't think so. If it comes on the Bucks, then I'll have to ask myself that. All right, guys, let's get into this game. See lots of people in there. Nipsey's back in there. Aunt G Cat's in there. That's what I'm rooting for this game. All right, let's start her up. This is pack number 2. NFL Draft Pack 02. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Who is the current favorite to go number 1 overall in the 2025 NFL Draft? Is it Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, or Ashton Genty? $25 people saying Cam Ward, and those 25 people would be correct. Yeah, Nashville's going to have a good quarterback there. Take a look at the board.
20,000.
Plus 20,000.
Cam Ward minus 20,000.
No, it's like if it's plus 20,000, people go put your money there now. Wow. Yeah. What if you bet $100? What would you get? We're minus 20,000. Like $5?
If you get 50 cents.
Well, you know,
if you want to make it easy, 50 cents. Just throw a $100 bet down on Cam Ward going number 1 in the draft.
Jeez. Oh gosh. All right, guys. A lot of people getting that in right as fast as they possibly could. Let's move on to the next question. While every NFL team currently holds a first-round pick, which of the following teams does not have a second-round pick? Cleveland Browns, the Carolina Panthers, the Los Angeles Rams, or the Kansas City Chiefs? And this question was written at about 11 o'clock this morning. So if there was a trade that happened since then, well, no. Just take yourself to 11 o'clock this morning. Hey, the Rams don't have a second round pick right now. So there's a few teams
the
that
Panthers have traded their pick, and that tripped me up, but they have a later pick coming back.
They do. And that's the that was the trick team. I put that in there. I was like, oh, Carolina doesn't have one. Wait. Yeah, they do. Scroll down a little further. Always helps to scroll, people. Always helps to scroll. Yep, 6 of you guys got the Los Angeles Rams. That was the correct answer. Ooh, big shakeup on the board. JR H 95. Scamps is on there. Dame up. Little love connection there on the leaderboard. The retro coach, JWN. One of these weeks I'm going to get to play. I'm going to make somebody else host so that I can play trivia. And then I can win all the prizes. Won't that be fun? All right, let's go. Let's take a look at the next question, guys. All right, what is the location of the 2025 NFL Draft? Is it Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, or Minneapolis? Which NFC North city gets to host the NFL Draft this year? All right. Yep, it is Green Bay. You know what? And I did not mean to do this, but I made Green Bay the yellow team, like cheese. Could have made him the green team. No, that's fine. Let's do the cheese. And then retro coach is just very upset. It needs to be in Detroit. He really liked Detroit as a draft location. So
bring it to Columbus. Put it in college towns.
They could put it in the Ohio State Stadium. Yeah, put the draft right there.
Home of the national champions.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's head to that next question, guys. We're zooming through this game. Scamps moving up into first place. I like that Scamps actually has a cat as his logo. That's helpful to see. Dame right behind him, as a supportive wife should be. Right behind, supporting your husband, and vice versa. Husbands, be behind your wife, supporting them every which of the way. We give marriage advice here on Trivia Night Live as well. It's not just about trivia. Retro coach, moving up on the board. Next question. Which one of the following analysts has not appeared as part of ESPN's draft desk for the NFL Draft? Mel Kiper Jr., Louis Riddick, Todd McShay, or Ben Solak? Which one of them has not appeared as part of ESPN's draft desk? All right.
I think I answered it wrong.
Sorry for the stray that this analyst caught for me on this question, but there's been a lot of people that have been at that draft desk over the years. It was kind of hard to find a name that wasn't. And will Peter Schrager be there this year? I think he will be. It was a tough blow to Good Morning Football for them to lose him. No, Ben Solak's not been on the draft desk. He might be there this year, though, but he hasn't been there yet. So, Ben, if you're watching, I know you watch every week. I'm sorry that I made you the answer of that one, but you kind of had it coming. So, for what reason, I don't know. You seem like a very nice guy. All right. He has said he will be there this year. So, whether that's Ben or Peter Schrager, Schrager will be on McAfee. Well, hopefully McAfee is in some trouble. If you saw his show today or saw some of the clips, I think ESPN's going to have a talk with McAfee behind closed doors about some of his antics in Las Vegas over the weekend.
What did he do? Go into detail.
He was doing recreational drugs, which are completely legal to do in Las Vegas. But I don't know if ESPN allows their on-air talent to do it publicly. And Pat McAfee, I guess, got caught doing some of that stuff. Yeah, we'll see. He seems kind of bulletproof right now anyways. All right. Scoreboard. Oh, big shakeup. Retro coach moving up into first place. Dame in second place. Doomsday hanging in there. Your boy Allen. Jeff just rising up the draft board. Remember, there's going to be 2 winners in this game. For this, the first place will get a Football Guys Elite subscription. So you can go ahead and download that Football Guys Draft Guide version 2. Watch the draft, and then when the draft is over, when we update for version 3, you'll be able to get your hands on that. So that'll be awesome. That draft guide's incredible this year. The last 3 years, I've used the Football Guys draft guide to really just get ahead of the game, going into rookie drafts and just to build up my knowledge of these players that I don't get to watch as much during the season because I'm focused on fantasy. So Jeff and the team over there, Football Guys, does a great job. All right. And what does last place get? That's a great question. You get to come back next week and try again. That's what you get. And I misspelled Ben Solak's name. So I guess I'm just firing more just shots at him.
It's all, Ben's not watching. It's past his bedtime. It's almost 10. So
he's in Michigan. It gets lighter. It stays lighter later there. She gets summer.
All right, let's look at the next question, guys. We're about halfway through the pack. Who was the last school to have players go number 1 overall in the draft in back-to-back years? So what was that last school? Was it Alabama, Oklahoma, Florida State, or Clemson? What was the last school to have players go number 1 overall in the NFL draft in back-to-back years? Okay, Andrea's got a question for Jeff Bell. Who do you think the Bills are going to draft, Jeff?
I think Donovan Ezeriku, the defensive end edge from Boston College, is who I think they're going to go defense. I think they'll hammer defense, defensive line, edge, cornerback. So, although Siobhan Reveal, corner from East Carolina, I feel like feels very, very Buffalo.
All right, yeah, it was Oklahoma. You guys know who the 2 quarterbacks? Of course you guys do, but who are the 2 quarterbacks?
Baker and Kyler.
Yeah, Baker and Kyler. Retrocross, who are the Buffalo Bulls draft? That question.
Khalil Mack always.
no matter what.
No matter what, yeah.
Off-ball linebacker, number 1.
Gosh. All right, let's take a look at the podium. Retro Coach hanging up top there. Although he didn't seem to get that one right. Ooh, the Mad Sicilian. I like that name. I'm going to write that one down. Jeff Bell hanging on the board. Dame's in there. What happened to Scampers? Somebody got the spray
3
bottle.
participants lost their answer streak of 4.
Scampers must have been one of them. Excuse me. Yeah, I was going to shout out Andrea. She has been helping in the Football Guys rookie mocks. We've done 3 rookie mocks 3 times a week for like the last in the last 2 months. And Andrea, I think she's been there every single week in there helping us get that ADP set for the community. And so Andrea, thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
That's fantastic. That's a task that got delegated to Joey, and Joey has done an amazing job with it. So
I think Andrea was actually there more than I was because I missed 2 drafts this for a wedding. And then I was sick, and I think Andrea put in more time than I did. So congratulations to her. And then Bourbon Cowboy, boy, the rest of that team made Baker and Kyler look good. Sorry, Joey. Let's see here. Next question. This school had a record 15 players drafted in the 2020 NFL draft. Was it LSU, Georgia, Michigan, or Ohio State? Excuse me.
Now, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
This question is wrong, Joey.
See, I did see, I was told this once before. Is it wrong?
It's the 2022 draft that Georgia had 15 players. LSU had 14, I believe, in the 2020 draft.
Well, folks, we've dealt with this once before where Joey wrote the trivia question wrong.
Well, I got it right. I said LSU, so I got it right, so I'm okay with it. But
you're okay with
Georgia maybe it was 16 that Georgia had in 22 with the record, but Georgia had the record for 22.
So that's
research before the show.
I might have just read.
Just having to look into every thing.
Yeah. No, I got this trivia question, and it might not have been. Yeah. So sorry about that, but it was a record at one time in 2020. So
we only recognize Justin Jefferson. as
That's
legitimate.
all we recognize.
Yeah.
It was a record
Georgia
at that
15
time.
and 22, and then LSU and Ohio State were tied at 14.
So this question just needs to be thrown out.
It wasn't a record at one time. You were right. In 2020,
Okay.
it was a record that they
Perfect.
tied Ohio State. Good. Yeah,
All right.
It was 14.
There we go. Not completely worthless. All right. Let's see how the podium looks. Wow.
Okay, I better be in first place after that.
It's the Reebok Joe saying, yes, throw it out. I don't know how to do that. Doomsday is up on the board. Matt Sicilian, Scopes, and the Retro Coach. All right. We're giving 2 prizes away in this one. So that should make up for some of the mistakes that Joey made there. Oh, Joey. Darn it. You're so likable, but so simple. So simple. All right. Next question. How many minutes of on the clock time are NFL teams allotted in rounds 3 through 6 of the draft? Was it 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, or 10 minutes?
I always love when you get to the stretch of like round 5 where it's just like, oh, by the way, we have missed 17 picks that have occurred in the draft. We've been talking about this random Mel Kiper has been talking about this random edge rusher from Southwest Missouri State.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was it rounds 1 gets 10 minutes, round 2 gets 7 minutes, and then rounds 3 through 6 get 5 minutes. Round 7, you have to say them as quick as you possibly can. They don't give you any time.
They want to go home.
Yeah, I just want to go. Roger Goodell doesn't even show up for round 7. All right, let's take a look at the podium. Jeff hanging in there. Matt Sicilian, he's making a move on you though, Jeff. Dame's in there. Scobes as well. All right, next question. The star of the 2020 NFL draft was undoubtedly Bill Belichick's dog. What was their name? Was it Bella Dog, Chance, Nike, or Ego? What was that little?
I missed the 2020 draft. Like that was a I don't know. That was a fun time and
Live from Goodell's basement.
A lot of people struggled in 2020. But
Nike was the dog's name.
We're gonna be okay moment.
Oh, Chance. Chance was a dog from Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. That's where I pulled that name from.
Remember the random people in Mike Vrabel's house?
Yeah. One was like a son in like a bodysuit.
Yeah.
Oh man, good times. All right, they should do one more year virtually like that. Just hopefully there's no pandemic, but
Goodell just fun. In his chair, just like in the smoking lounge.
Reebok Joe, comment of the night. Boo! I don't have that in my vocabulary. Oh, that was a good joke. Nike because Reebok. That was good. Reebok Joe, I'm gonna find a way to get you a prize. That was funny. Air Bill. All right, bring dog names. I'll appreciate that, chat. Scampers, this is your bag. Give me funny dog names. Go for Bill Belichick. What should he have named his dog? All right, let's look at the leaderboard. Oh, Jeff moved down a spot. Dame taking over first place. Doomsday, Matt Sicilian, and Nipsey. He's back. All right, guys. Got a few questions left. All right, question number 9. How many quarterbacks were drafted in the first round of the 2024 NFL draft? Was it 5, 6, 7, or 8? Captain Scuttlebutt. All right, Joe. We need to check in. How's Auntie doing? We need to know how she's doing. All right, yeah, 6. 6 was the correct answer. 6 quarterbacks taken last year. Was that too many? I don't know.
I think right now it feels like the right number.
Yeah. How many quarterbacks do you think will go in this year's first round, guys?
I think 3 will go.
You don't think there'll be a 4th?
No, I think it'll be Milroe as the 3rd. I don't think Dart goes.
I'm with you on that. And honestly, I think Milroe should. But What do I know?
I don't even know anything either. So
That's why you're playing trivia. We're trying to figure out what you know.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Apparently, the guy right in the trivia knows absolutely nothing as well because he's missed 2 questions tonight. Actually, no, we did get some confirmation that I was right. So the score is 1 Joey, 1 Jeff, and we'll see if there's a rubber match or not by the end of the show. All right. 6 was the correct answer on that. Looking at the leaderboard, Dame just further in that lead, 24 points over Jeff. Can Jeff make it up? We'll see. Scamps is coming to defend her honor. Will he fall on a sword to make sure Dame wins? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Bob saying Zach is just a dummy.
He's not wrong, nice. But with a Y.
Another dog name, Mr. Dr. Harmonious Funny Bottoms. I can say all of that. All right. 3 questions left in this pack, guys. Who was the last Heisman Trophy winner not taken in the first round of the NFL draft? Was it Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Troy Smith, and Johnny Manziel? Who was the last one not taken in the first round?
Troy Smith's one of my favorite what ifs of all time because he got mono and he was going to beat out Joe Flacco for the starting job, and then he got mono and Joe Flacco got the starting job, and his entire career was derailed by having mono one time. So
just don't drink after.
Derrick Henry didn't go in round 1. Wow.
Yeah. He was 45th overall. I believe it was 43rd or 45th. This was a weird question. I got some conflicting information. Like Lamar Jackson went 32nd overall to the Ravens.
He did.
But for some reason, some sites were saying that was a 2nd round pick. And I looked and, like ESPN showed it was a 1st round pick. There was conflicting information on that, but yeah.
Was it one of those years that the Dolphins just lost their pick for no reason?
See, I looked at that and the Dolphins
had
a pick.
4 of those different years where the Dolphins lost their pick.
No, the Dolphins had the pick. The Patriots had their pick. Everything I distinctly remember watching the first round of that draft because I wanted Lamar Jackson as the succession plan to Brady, and so that was my gambit, but it didn't happen.
That would have just been unfair.
I mean, that's I was very excited about that. He kept falling. I'm like, oh my goodness, Bill is going to look like a genius, and then he drafted Sony Michel, and here we are.
That would have been some real Brett Favre passing off to Aaron Rodgers.
Well, and to me, it would have been beautiful because you could completely reinvent your offense. And so he doesn't have to be Tom Brady because obviously he plays completely different. And so there's no, I mean, you just roll off into an entirely new team. It's great. But
do you know what team the Bills traded for in that draft to get Josh Allen? What team the Bills traded with?
I don't remember.
Joey?
No, of course I don't.
It was the Buccaneers.
Was it? I mean, I knew it was the Buccaneers because why would you have said it if You're welcome.
But you were set with Jameis Winston, so you were okay. You were willing to trade out of Josh Allen.
I truly believe the Buccaneers have their best quarterback they've ever had under center right now. For where they're at in their career. I know Brady gave us another Super Bowl. Well, actually, that defense gave us another Super Bowl. But
that Josh Freeman year was pretty special. But
I like Josh Freeman. I was the only one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bucks have never really had I've owned many Buccaneer jerseys in my life, but it's a lot of running backs. I do own a Grammatica jersey, but Baker is the first quarterback NFL Buccaneers jersey I've had. I love me some Baker Mayfield. Yeah, we had Steve Young, but he didn't want to be there. So you know what? Get out. So could have been great, Steve. We could have had something, but no, you didn't want to play in Tampa Bay. Made a big stink about it. Do you guys know Steve Young is Brigham Young, his grandson, a descendant? Yeah. I just found this out not long ago. And it blew my mind. Imagine playing quarterback at the school named after your grandpa. That's just, I don't know. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Dame just getting that lead.
Stretching the legs a little bit there.
Mm-hmm. Jeff has a little troll on him, and I'm here for it. Frank, Jeff does have a little troll on him, but Jeff, he brings it out so sweetly. And then no Kyle Trask jersey, Joey? No Kyle Trask jersey. He did play at Florida, though, so you would think. But all right, 2 questions left. Which of the following players was not invited to the NFL draft this year? Jahad Campbell, Matthew Golden, Jackson Dart, or Jalen Milroe? Which one of them was not invited? If this player gets drafted, they'll be on their couch, creating a viral moment. Do you guys have a favorite viral moment on the couch from draft nights?
Who was it that? I'm trying to think of who was the player that sat? It's terrible to have a good viral moment. I remember the dude that sat in the green room for the entire first round of the draft a couple of years ago. Was that Geno Smith that sat in the green room for the entire draft?
He did slip to round 2. He might have sat there the whole night. I think CeeDee Lamb and the cell phone might be my favorite.
Yeah, that was the only one that I could. That was like that.
Yeah, I feel bad.
And Johnny Manziel sat there all night and then just still came out with the money thing. It's falls into the 20s and thinks he's gonna go first. That was classic Johnny Manziel.
That was one of the most stressful draft nights for me as a Bucs fan, because there was a very real possibility the Bucs would have taken Manziel and instead took Mike Evans, and for that I am eternally grateful.
Well, he was the reason why Johnny Manziel was Johnny Manziel, because if you watched him play, he would just run around and throw the ball up, and then Mike Evans would go between 7 guys and catch the ball. Yeah. It's that guy's pretty good. He just outjumps 7 different guys and brings it down every time. It turns out he's Mike Evans.
Yeah, he's pretty great. Pretty great. All right, let's look at the podium. All right. Dame in first place. Nipsey's hanging in there. Your boy Allen as well. All right, guys. Last question in the pack. Here we go. As of 2024, what team has never made the number 1 overall selection? The Denver Broncos, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Detroit Lions, or the Seattle? It's supposed to be Seahawks, but it's the Seahawks. Only one of those teams has never made the number 1 overall selection. All right. Yep.
Yeah.
It's the Denver Broncos.
Was drafted by the Colts, and then they traded him.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's take a look at the podium. In third place, Doomsday. Coming in second, Nipsey. And Nipsey, you will get a prize tonight. And in first place, Dame. Dame, congratulations. You're going to win a Football Guys subscription, elite subscription. So that's exciting for you, Dame. Dame and Nipsey, I will be reaching out to both of you guys to get you your prizes most likely tomorrow morning because I'm going to go to bed soon. But guys, congratulations. I want to give you guys a chance to plug whatever you would like. Zach, you go ahead and go first. Let us know what's going on with you.
Fantasy Cares, man. We're here. fantasycares.org/campaigns. There is the Reddit draft campaign where you can give your opinion on a whole bunch of different scenarios for the draft. There are a bunch of prizes with that. And then also on fantasycares.org/campaigns, there is my rookie film notes. For a donation, you get my film notes as a thank you. And it's a good time of year for that. So, and we're also, Bob says we've got something fun planned for the draft show, but we're doing day 1 and day 2. So Thursday and Friday right here on the Fantasy Cares YouTube stream. I will be here. I assume Bob will be here. Russ will be here. Scott will be here. It'll be a blast. So That's what we're doing.
Well, Zach, thanks so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate it.
You. Yeah,
I'm glad you finally got to come on.
I've been lurking. I've been lurking. I've been a chat monster.
I appreciate you being there.
Dr. Zach.
Jeff, what's going on? Let us know, buddy.
Yeah, I just want to plug Joey Wright, my dear friend.
No.
I think that if anybody wants to make it in the fantasy industry, Joey is a personification of how to do that. I think it's amazing for what he's done at Football Guys. He basically invented a job and turned that into something that is a major contributor with Football Guys and being a community ambassador, building the community behind the scenes, building the Discord. He's always willing to step up for whatever needs to be done behind the scenes. And it's just, if that's your dream to operate and work within the fantasy space, Joey Wright is the person that you should be looking at it as a path to do that.
So Jeff, I gave you the copy to read before the show. You forgot to say handsome. That's in there. Jeff, thank you so much, buddy. I'm going to clip that and show it to my wife and be like, look what people actually think of me. Jeff, I'm going to go back. I kind of tuned you out because I was like, I'm going to cry. He's saying too much nice stuff. Thank you so much, buddy. Guys, go read everything Jeff Bell has ever written because it's all great. He is very smart. And a Football Guys rookie guide. Definitely check it out. Version 2 is free to download right now over at footballguys.com. We'll have version 3 coming out that's only available to elite subscribers and our top tier subscribers. So if you want to get version 3 that gets the recaps on the draft day analysis, you're going to have to definitely get a Football Guys subscription. But guys, thank you so much for being here. We had a blast. I do not remember what next week is. I always say this, but this week I truly do not remember what next week's trivia is. But you know what? It's going to be fun. It's going to be off topic. It's going to go off the rails. We always have a good time. Everybody, thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week.